Hello, and thank you for viewing this Access 2016 tutorial. This tutorial has two main objectives. The first is to modify the format of an existing datasheet in the design view, and the second is to create a printable report. Let's get started. First, we will open the existing database from the Open screen on Access. The file we will use for this tutorial is called Database4. Now that the database is open, I'm navigating to the left portion of the screen to open the Demo1 file under the Tables window. This brings up the small database we will be working with. As you can see, the data is not in the most logical order. The last name should appear as the first column, and the age and date columns are out of order. Since we ultimately want this data to be printed, we need to reorder the columns. To do so, I'm navigating to the Home tab, and then the first icon in the ribbon labeled View. By selecting the drop-down menu, I can select the Design view. As we're now on the Design view, we can change the order of the data. First, I'm going to select the last name row, and as you can see, this selects the entire row, which I can now drag toward the first name row until a thick black line appears above that row, and I can now release the mouse. The last name data will now be the first entry for each data set. I'll repeat this process to position the age above the age group and the finish date below the sign-up date. The data is now in a more logical order for a printed report. We need to save the changes we've made by navigating to the Save icon in the top left and navigating back to the datasheet view by going to View, Design, Datasheet View. As you can see, the data is in the same order now, and we can continue on and create the report. We're going to go to the Create tab and then go to the Report icon. As you can see, the margins on this page show where the margins on a printed sheet would be. And in order to see all the information on the data on one sheet, we're going to need to change the widths of the cells. To change the size of each cell, we're going to select the first entry in the last name column, then position the mouse on the right border of the cell and decrease the size of the cell. I'm going to repeat with each cell, making sure to keep the data visible in each cell. Now that the last column is to the left of the margin line, the report is formatted and ready to be printed. You now know how to order entries in the design view and make simple formatting changes for a printable report. Thank you for watching.